Welcome back, everyone. Well, just north of us in Warren County, in the town of Bolton Landing, there is an absolute jewel of a museum that's dedicated to all things opera. It's called the Sembrich Opera Museum. And these two people are joining me today because there's an amazing concert that's going to happen there tomorrow night that you need to know about. So, ladies first, Mariana Humetska is a concert pianist who will be performing tomorrow night, and also Richard Wargo. That's a cool name.
Oh.
You like that? You're the artistic director for the Sembrich Opera Museum in Bolton Landing. So first, welcome, both of you.
Thank
you. Very nice to have you here.
Nice to be here.
And Richard, I'm just going to start with you, because a lot of our viewers are familiar with the museum. Some might not be.
Sure.
Why Sembrich Opera Museum?
Well, it's we're so fortunate to have in Bolton Landing the former teaching studio of this famous Polish Metropolitan Opera singer. And actually, 1914 is the year that precipitated her eventually finding her way to Lake George. So that's the overall theme of our season, 1914, Summer of Destiny, which took this famous Polish soprano from the mountains of Europe to the mountains of the Adirondacks.
To the mountains of the Adirondack. And the year 1914, of course, pays tribute to World War I.
Yes, the anniversary of the war, at which, I mean, we think America, we didn't enter the war until 1917.
That's right.
But Marcella Sembrich was there from day one, July 31st, 1914. She was summering with Paderewski at his name day party.
Wow.
She was a Polish subject, but with a German passport, and was unable to get back to France, where she was staying at the time, and essentially was stranded for 3 months. Eventually, found her way back to America, where she worked tirelessly for American Polish Relief. So that association with Paderewski and Sembrich at the very outset of the war is
so easy. Isn't it so easy when we roll these names off our tongue? You know,
Not
these
me,
are
not me.
world-renowned, historical figures that made such major contributions to the arts.
Exactly.
That's really okay. So let's talk about tomorrow night. The theme for the concert, and Richard, I'll stay with you on this, and then we'll talk about the program itself. Why this theme for tomorrow?
Well, simply because Paderewski and Marcella Sembrich were the two major figures to work for American Polish Relief at the outset of the war.
Got it.
And the whole notion of celebrating Paderewski and his friendship and association with Marcella Sembrich seemed so appropriate to the season. And when I met Mariana by chance a year ago, I thought, well, this would be the perfect artist to bring this theme alive at the Sembrich.
God, that's wonderful. And just to give our viewers just a very quick synopsis on Mariana, recently, this spring, you received quite an award from the President of Poland. That's quite an honor, Mariana. And what is this award?
Last May, I received a Knight of Honor from the President of Poland, Bronisław Komorowski, and he awarded me with this Knight of Honor at his palace.
At his palace, wow.
At his palace. The ceremony was quite thrilling, something very special for me, of course, and
you performed.
Beside of getting such an award, I got a unique chance to play piano, to play Paderewski's piano, which is right there at in Warsaw, one of his pianos actually, but it's a great instrument. It's a huge concert-sized Steinway, and I've been performing Paderewski's Polish Fantasy for piano and symphony orchestra, so with the president sitting there in the audience and listening to the performance. I think it was quite something.
Oh my God, we're so honored to have you here in the United States, really. So tomorrow night, you're performing, what are the names of the pieces that you're performing tomorrow night?
Well, tomorrow night's program, together with Richard, actually, we decided we would like to dedicate this program to the friendship of Marcella Sembrich and Ignacy Paderewski, and I made up this program of the compositions exclusively of Ignacy Paderewski's compositions. And the major work on the program is his piano sonata, one of the most difficult virtuosical romantic piano sonatas. And around this a magical piece of music, I would like to present Paderewski's smaller piano composition, so little jewels, right? The
Yeah,
little
sure.
beautiful nocturne, his very famous minuet and polonaise.
This is such a very, very unique opportunity to see a world-renowned pianist perform music that you don't get to hear every day. And you're right about that one piece. That technically is a very, very difficult piece to perform.
Paderewski was the king of the piano.
That's right.
He really mastered, and I think in this sonata, not only me as a performer can feel how much, what the potential was of him, right, of his pianistic abilities, but also for the audience to hear not only technical side of the composition, but to hear the deepest thoughts and sense he put in this composition.
Oh my God, it's unbelievable. So at any rate, the performance is tomorrow night, the 12th, in Bolton Landing at the Sembrich Opera Museum. It's a full moon as well.
Oh, perfect.
Could it be? Yeah, I know. I was just going to say, as artistic director, did you plan the full moon?
It's all in the job
We brought it from Ukraine.
Oh, you did bring it from Ukraine. By the way, because you are Ukraine, there was a quote that Mariana, as we know, there's some difficulty going on, some turmoil going on in that part of the world, but this is what she said. She said, "I dream that Ukraine might one day attain the same freedom that the United States and Poland now enjoy." That's very insightful. Very nice that you said that. And Richard, you wanted to say something?
Well, actually, two things, now that you
Yes.
mentioned that. And I view her coming to America, Mariana, as something of a musical ambassador for peace.
Yes,
and it's
terrific.
nothing forced. She's just very natural coming to share her music and her gift with us here. I mean, what is more appropriate to bring people together than music and art?
The universal language.
Yeah, and one thing I was going to add about, I mean, what an honor to play on Paderewski's piano at the Presidential Palace in Poland.
I couldn't believe it.
But I don't know if you're aware that the piano we have and that you've been rehearsing so splendidly on was one of 3 pianos that Sembrich owned, and Paderewski played on that piano as well.
Well, that's a great honor, of course, and not only playing on the piano, but being in such an environment and at this artistic home. And it's very inspiring, and I hope tomorrow night will continue probably the greatest traditions which were set up in this place.
Oh my God, I couldn't say it. How do you beat that? You can't beat that. Well, good. Thank you both for coming in. It's a pleasure to have you. Good luck tomorrow night.
Thank you.
And thank you, Richard, for coming in and helping us.
Thank you for having us.
You're quite welcome. To see this interview again, head to our website, looktvonline.com.